Hello everyone, welcome back. Our today's session will be on malware forensics. So currently, malicious software, which is commonly called as malware, is used as a tool for compromising the security of any system or any electronic device which is connected to the internet. So in today's session, we will see what is malware, its definition, then different components of malware, types of malware, then what is meant by malware forensics, and lastly, why there is a need of malware analysis. So this is our overview of today's session. So let's start. What is meant by malware? Malware, a short form for malicious software, is a program that is capable of altering the properties of a target device or application for providing limited or full control of the device to its creator. So in short, malware means malicious software. Malware damages the computer system and gives limited or full control or access to the attacker. Malware is useful when an unauthorized person wants to illegally access a locked or secure device. So attacker always use malware to break down cybersecurity, and it is used to access the secure device unauthorizedly. Therefore, it is crucial for forensic analysts to have a sound knowledge of different malware programs. So it's important for analysts to have a better understanding of malware programs, means their working, the site of impact, output, and different methods of their detection and analysis. That's why malware forensics is important. Next, we'll see components of malware. So attackers create the malware using components, which helps them to achieve what they want, like to steal the information, to delete the data, or to change the system settings. So some basic components of malware are described below. So the first one is crypter. Disguises malware through encryption or obfuscation. So crypter, it basically encrypts the malicious file in a malware or entire malware to avoid its detection from any antivirus. Second one is downloader. Retrieves additional malware from the internet. So it basically download other malware or malicious file from internet and install it on the system. Next is dropper. Installs other malware files onto the system. So dropper contains the malware code which antivirus cannot detect, and that's why it installs the malware file on the system without getting detected. Next one is exploit. Breaches the system security via software vulnerabilities. So exploit itself is a malicious code which is used to breach the system security by taking advantage of different vulnerabilities. Next is injector. It injects malicious code in other vulnerable process to hide. So the next component is obfuscator. It conceals its code and purpose. So basically obfuscator hides behind other program so that it can't get detected. Next is packer. It compresses the malware file and creates a single executable to bypass its detection. Payload. Payload, it performs the specific activity after it is being exploited. Malicious code means the code which defines the functions of malware. And fileless malware. As its name defines, So this malware does not use any file to infect the system. So these were all the components of malware which are used by the attackers to create a malware. Next, we will see the types of malware. So here the types of malware are listed below. First one is virus. Virus infects the device and replicates itself. It spreads by attaching to the file. Next is worm. Worm is self-replicating and it infects the system without any human interaction, and also it spreads across the network. Next one is Trojan. Trojan means a malicious software which appears as a legitimate to the users. Ransomware. It encrypts the file on the devices and force the victim to pay a ransom in exchange of the data or decryption. Spyware. Spyware, it steals the user's data like bank detail and credentials, means sensitive data, without the user's consent. Adware. Adware is a software which displays unwanted ad in the form of pop-ups in order to generate revenue. Next is rootkit. Rootkit is a kind of malicious software which allows the attacker to remotely access the system or unauthorized access. Botnet. Botnet means the self-replicating malware which spreads and it creates a network of bot or devices which are controlled for malicious activities. So these are the basic types of malware which we have seen now. Next, we will see what is malware forensics. Malware forensics is the method of finding, analyzing, and investigating various malware properties to find the culprits and the reason behind the attack. So, malware is commonly used by attackers to commit a crime on the target system. Hence, malware forensic deals with identifying the malicious code and examining its behavior. The process of malware forensic includes finding the malicious code, then its entry point, how it was propagated, its impact on the target system, and the port used. So, different tools and techniques are used by the forensic investigators to perform malware analysis. And the methods of malware analysis are static and dynamic analysis. We will study these methods in our further videos. So our last point is why there is a need of malware analysis. So why analyze malware? First point is determining exactly what happened on the target system. Next is determine the intention of the malware, means malicious intent of the malware. Third, listing the IOCs, that is indicators of compromise for different machines to evaluate the complexity level of that particular intrusion. Next, finding the system vulnerabilities that are being exploited, identifying the extent of damage which is being caused by the malware, to trace the perpetrator or the attacker, and last, to determine or to identify the entry point of the malware. So these are the basic points which are answered during the malware analysis. So this was all about malware, its components, and malware forensics. In our further series of videos, we will see the methods of malware analysis and some kind of practical demonstration. Thank you and stay tuned.